microphone is on, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Hopefully I'm coming through. Nobody said anything yet, so hopefully it's there. Sue says I hear you. Yo, it's Dr. Fox. Yep, works. Okay, cool. And welcome, everyone. Glad to have you here. And 5x5, thanks. And good to see you there, Bob. Anyway, good to have everyone on board. Of course, what you are seeing on the screen is from August 12th of our wonderful Siggy Fisher. And kind of sad news. They did turn off the last camera that we had over at our wonderful Siggy Fisher. That was the Visor cam. It was turned off last night, or basically at midnight, and we no longer have this view. So that is unfortunate, but it is what it is. If the volcano is not erupting, I can expect that, and I don't blame them for turning it off if there's nothing happening, right? Anyway, welcome everyone. Glad to have you here. It is October 1st of 2022, and yep, it's one of those lovely days here in Edmonton. We do enjoy that. The day is warming up a little bit, which is really good, and glad to see everyone on board here. First off, welcome to our moderators, Arizona Snowman, Piggy. Piggy will be maybe in the background or tending to her needs. Unfortunately, with her poor dog passing away yesterday, she's gonna need some time. So. Yeah, well, we're just leave it there. I don't want to get into it, otherwise I'm going to get somewhat emotional here, and I don't want to do that right now. But our thoughts and everything, big heartfelt thoughts going out to Piggy. Hopefully, life will get better in due time, and it's one of those things. Anyway, also welcome to Bob and possibly Gary in the background, 24/7 live, AZ Skies, and then there may be others like Joseph Fields and maybe Lucas Snow or somebody like that. So all good, and no worries there. Cryon is Helon. Thanks, Galactic Volcano. And yeah, it's heartbreaking is really what it is, and I feel so sorry for Piggy, having lost both of them in such a short period of time is absolutely horrible. So, and Tercell's birthday would have been today, would have been 15 years old, so it is one of those things. What do you do, Anyway, let's try to carry on here with our volcano stream and keep happy thoughts and positive thoughts in mind for Piggy. And she still has a big fur family there and birds and everything, so she still has to be there and carry on and do her thing for the other ones. And hopefully everything will get better. And anyway, let's carry on with other stuff here. First one in today was Adele, and Adele gets the cookies today. And there we go. Cookies for Adele. Excellent. Okay, so that's out of the way, and let's carry on with our other stuff. Of course, I was going to say, we'll have a look at what Siggy looks like right now, but we can't since they are no longer on the air. I will take that big banner off though, off of the canned lava for right now, and there we go. And of course, that was from the 12th. It was actually doing very, very well when we were watching that, and it's a beautiful sight. Hopefully, we'll see some more of that. And anyway, we'll get to saying hi here to everyone. And Amelia just says, away from keyboard listening. All right. And that is pretty cool. And let's see what we can do with saying hi to the rest of you. And of course, I see Galactic Volcano said, take us to Taupo, and I'll see what I can do. I know I've got a link somewhere, but I have not been able to get that going, and we'll see what we can do and find out in the meantime. Anyway, we'll carry on. So hi Adele, and welcome back Wormhand. Amelia, of course, Sasha's in the house, Juliet is here, and Juliet, I hope you get feeling better, and Arliss also back, welcome Arliss, Jairus back in here as well, good to see you, Robert and Chandel also here, Sasha, I think I might have said hi, Galactic Volcano, we mentioned you already, glad to have you on board, Connie Tyree also here. And scrolling up some more, Sue Hayes is in the house, Sarah Miles was here as well, and Kevin Haynes, welcome back. Going up the list some more, Old Mummy of Hamsters is here and saying greetings Uncle Doc, and thanks Old Mummy of Hamsters. And moving up a little bit more, looking for other wonderful names. Did I say Sarah Miles? I think I did. Andy Morgan is here, as well as Hermione Schaefer and Fluffy. At least I think Fluffy is there. I'm not sure. Juliet is back in the house. Kevin Williams, welcome. And don't want to confuse the two Kevins. Kevin Haynes and Kevin Williams are both here, so welcome to both of you. King Colin Deadman still in the house or back again. Good to have you on board. And going up a little bit more, looking for more wonderful names here. And let's see, who have we got? Layla, welcome back Layla, glad to have you on board. And sliding up some more, looking for more names. A lot of chat going on, which is absolutely wonderful. Good to see everyone talking. And that's one of the nice things about having this group of people. It's all wonderful to really see that, you know, we've all made new friends here. So really, really wonderful to see. Linda Schoof also here. Welcome, Linda. And going up some more, we got Jars, we got Juliet. And let's see, going up some more, we got Layla. I know I seen Tetra earlier, so welcome Tetra. Glad to have you on board. And sliding up some more to see who else we've got in here. Scrolling as quickly as I can and read names at the same time. Not so easy at some points in time. So doing our thing. I got Connie already. Arliss Scott, I don't know if I said hi to you, and I think I did, but that's all right. Okay, all the way to the top. I don't see any other names in there right now, and we'll probably find some more. John Raper also just popped in. Mona Alfano, welcome. And let's see, did I miss anyone else sliding in here while I was going up? They were at the bottom. And Joseph made it in. Joseph Fields, Texas is here. Good to have you on board. Okay, I think I've got pretty much everyone there so far. Henry Nelson, yay. Hey, wearing camo. Hard to see with that camo on there, mister. Anyway, that is wonderful. Old Mommy of Hamster says, I'm at work, so I'm in and out of the Lurkers Lounge. Gotcha. No worries, Old Mommy of Hamsters. And all good. And okay, so anyway, getting at things, a quick peek at our harmonic tremor chart for Iceland, and we'll see how that looks today. I'll have to refresh it to get the optimum performance out of it. So let's take a quick look. I did refresh it not too long ago, but still want to see. And yes, it is showing an upward trend. Not sure if that's going to indicate anything happening there for us, but we are seeing an upward trend. That's what the chart says. So that is all cool. If we slide down and have a look at a couple of the other ones, I actually wanted to go to the Grimsey one. Hang on, I'm gonna find it first before we go too much further down. Anyway, Grimsey showing a downward trend, so things are getting quiet up on the northern end of Iceland. And let's have a look at Grindavik. Grindavik showing an upward trend as well. So likely any movement that we're seeing is probably tectonic in nature, and rather than magmatic. But you never know unless there's a massive amount of magma moving in, which would really be nice. I wouldn't mind that. Anyway, let's get it back onto our primary one here, and that is, of course, Fragarelfjall, and we'll carry on. Quick peek at the earthquakes, and I see Dave Kruk also made it in. Welcome. Did anyone else sneak in? We got John. Andy Morgan is here. Good to see you. And I think, Trevor just popped in as well. Good to have you on board, Trevor. Going up, at least. Yeah, that is what it is doing, but it's hard to say with how we deal with that. Oop, I'm trying to get to the right screen here. Hit the wrong one. All right, that's the one I wanted, and just checking first off, last 24 hours, only 48 quakes in comparison to what we were seeing, last week and the week before. This is way down as far as the numbers are concerned. And having a quick peek up top, pardon me, by Grimsey, we don't see anywhere near what we were seeing before. But let's just check a few of these for depth and see where we get to. This one is a 1.4 from 1843, and that was 10.8 kilometers down. And then we have a 1.8 at 10.6 kilometers down from 1453, and some slightly older. This one was from yesterday at 2307, 1.8, 10 kilometers down. And there's 1.6, also 10 kilometers down from 2035. So really nothing there that's going to scare us as far as looking at what we've got. Then here, 6 kilometers down for this one, also from yesterday, 2124, and it is a 1.2. 1.28 here from 2.2 kilometers down. That's a little bit more reasonable as far as depth is concerned, and that was from 7:15 this morning. And then we have this one from 1:24 a.m. and that is a 1.24, 10 kilometers down, or just about 10.5 kilometers down. Also have this 1.5 from yesterday at 20:29, and it was only 1.1 kilometers down. So those are interesting. This one's a little deep. It makes you wonder what is going on. And obviously some movement up in the top as well as the bottom. Why is there a circle around this? This is odd. An orange circle around Grimsey and the island. Did the island disappear? I hope not. Anyway, 0.9, 5.4 kilometers down from yesterday at 2016, according to that. Our circle moved. And why is that orange circle there? It's a little confusing. Anyway, 4:52 a.m., 0.38, and that was 667 meters down. And I do believe that is, well, what is the volcano there? Krafla, if I have it right, for the primary one there. But it is a green rating on that one, so I'm not going to worry about it. Looking at what we've got around Asja, a little more activity, and we do see a few here fairly fresh from 1834.2, 5.2 kilometers down, and then we have a 0.61 from 9:49 a.m., and that one is 1.2 kilometers down. Looking at some of these other ones over here, 0.43, 5.5 kilometers down from 12:32. Then we have this one, 5:31 a.m., 0.52, 4.9 kilometers down. 0.26 from 10:37 a.m., 4.7 kilometers down. Another one here, 1.5, 4.5 kilometers down from 9:27. And this magnitude 1, 3.8 kilometers down from 23:22 yesterday. And that is around Asja. So really nothing major there. Those are all fairly deep. We do have this straggler over here, very small. That is only 92 meters down though. Something weird going on there. Anyway, a 0.29. 3:41 a.m. But the depth on this one is kind of interesting. I've never seen them measure it that precisely. 92 meters down. That is kind of something that makes you go, Anyway, looking over here between Bardabunga and Grimsvatn. Let's do the one here at Grimsvatn, 0.48 and 2.9 kilometers down. And that is 12:47 that happened. Then we've got three slightly older ones here from yesterday, 1.3, 6.6 kilometers down from 2020 yesterday. Then this guy, 22:30 for the 1.3, 8.7 kilometers down, 1.1 from 3.2 kilometers down from 11 minutes after 11 p.m. Hey, Irish monk, welcome. Glad to have you on board. And you paid the big fella at the door. Awesome. Irish monk. Let me write that down. And then that way we will make sure that the big fella at the door lets you in for free tomorrow. And okay, what I paid in muffins. Oh, you paid in muffins, and that's awesome. Oh, anyway, latest one here, 0.2, 8.5 kilometers down, and that was from 1840 there. Did we look at that? Yeah, 0.48, just about 3 kilometers down. So really nothing there that's going to scare us away. Down here at Katla, we have a 0.5 from yesterday at 22:36, 2.6 kilometers down. And then Katla's neighbor there, the one I can't pronounce, I know, try it, but I won't. I practice, and I still get it wrong. Anyway, 19:16 was the time on that, and 0.9, 5.4 kilometers down. And then we see a couple more here, 1.09 from 1.1 kilometers down from 5:51 a.m. and also 5:47 a.m. we had a 1.15, 12.3 kilometers down in that area. So I'm not sure if that's just regular movement or what's going on. I'll leave that be. We do have this one here from 12:44, and that is a 2.25, and that was 5.3 kilometers down. And then looking at some of these other ones here, 12:25, 1.56, 3.9 kilometers down for that guy. The 1.08 is just about 1 kilometer down. It's 0.939 from 1358. And there's one more in here. Let's see, the 1.31, 5.4 kilometers down from 1027. And that kind of takes care of most of the rest of Iceland. Now let's have a look at our wonderful Reykjanes Peninsula and go from there. We do have a couple out here, and that is a 1.31, 6.1 kilometers down, 10:49 a.m. is when that happened. The other one here from 1517, 1.12, and it was 5.4 kilometers down. And sliding over a little bit more, I'll take a look at this 0.9 and 7.9 kilometers down. It was 16:42 as the time on that one. Looking around Krusavik, we do have 3 indicated here. 0.97, 4.6 kilometers down from 714. Then we have this 1.14 from 5.6 kilometers down from 1:51 a.m. and this 0.32 from 9 a.m. at 1.144 kilometers down. Kind of different values there as far as the depths are concerned, but we'll see what happens. Did I say it's Krusavik? I think it is. Maybe I'm bad. No, that's right, and that's Krusavik area, and that's right there. And of course, this is our Geldingadalur Valley and Fragedalfjall area. We're not seeing anything in between Keilir and our Ragnar and Siggy. So all that area is pretty clear and quiet. We are seeing these though. This is a little bit weird. 1.37, 6.7 kilometers down from 1429 on that guy. And then we have this one here from 1:05 a.m. It is a 0.25, 2.8 kilometers down. And then we have this one, 1.1, 0.95, it's 0.95. It's from 1:10 a.m. and 3.7 kilometers down for that guy. Really nothing major going on there. This 1.37, just about 3 kilometers down from 8:33 this morning. And really not worried about these little guys on the end here. They're not going to do too much. We do have this 1.24 from a 9.6 kilometers down, 21 minutes after midnight. And that is about it for what we're seeing there in Iceland. But I do want to pop over to the earthquake map and point out that the stuff that we've been seeing on the Reykjanes Ridge is still happening. And find my earthquake map. There we go. Zooming into the area. And of course, you can see Iceland there. And this is your Reykjanes Ridge. And it goes down to where this swarm is. And it's eased up with the amount of quakes that we've seen. But we do still have some fairly large quakes. 4.6 from 7:41 this morning. And then we have this 4.8. That was from yesterday at 22:58. And we also have this 4.8 from 20:06 yesterday. All 3 of those are 10 kilometers down. And then we have this much larger 6.0 from yesterday as well at 1918, and that was 10 kilometers down as well. It's very interesting to see that we have a swarm going on there, and it seems to be continuing but slowing a little bit from what we noticed. So only 4 today. The past few days we've had many more quakes hitting that area. So that's kind of what we've got. Anyway, popping back over there. It is kind of what it is, and not too much else that we can really talk about there. So we're going to carry on, and actually, hang on, before I go to the Azores, I wanted to go back over to Sicily for a minute and have a look at that and see how things are doing there in Sicily. So hopefully, yeah, it's kind of cloudy, and it's getting into actually, that I've already backed that up a little bit. I didn't make any time lapses today. I just wasn't up to it, but anyway, going back about 3 hours 48 minutes, it gives you a pretty good view. We can see what's going on the backside of the volcano. We still have that vent throwing up some material, and of course, with the sun being over in this area, we're getting shadowing, so it's hard to tell what that is actually coming out of there, if it's really dark material or fairly gassy stuff coming off of there. So that's kind of what I see anyway. For the most part, they've had a cloudy day there again, so that is from about 6 hours and 15 minutes ago, roughly. This is about 8.5 hours ago, right about here. So they've been getting a lot of rain. Let's get back a little more. That's 11 hours ago. Really inclement weather for the most part, and hope they are going to get some better stuff. They had, 12:45, 12 hours and 45 minutes ago was a little bit nicer. Some sun was peeking through, and that was at 9:34. And if we back up a little bit more, we do see that it was still quite gray just before 9 a.m. And that's pretty much it for what we're seeing in Sicily, as far as I can tell. The tremor activity and everything, it's basically just on a very low simmer setting, if you will. And we do still see some activity there, but it is nothing major. So it wouldn't make anyone think that we're going to have any kind of an eruption anytime soon. All right, let's pop over to the Azores, and of course it's getting dark there already, unfortunately. So the picture that we're seeing is, of course, from São Jorge, or São Horte, if you want to say it in Portuguese. But that is what it looks like during the day. So the distance between São Jorge and Pico Island, which is the one with the big mountain on it there, which is called Mount Montana now, but it's actually Pico Volcano is what it was called originally. And anyway, that's what we see. So front area is the harbor here, and small village right there. And of course you can see the lights on Pico Island on the other side of that strait. So 18 kilometers across there. Long swim. I wouldn't want to have to swim that. Not that good of a swimmer. So that's what we got. Let me see if I can get on that one properly. And of course this is our little cove that we always use to show what it is like. And there's the cove during a daytime shot, just so you can kind of get the idea. And what we do is we look for the waves hitting the shoreline. The more white water we see in this area down on the bottom here, that's usually the indicator of how rough the ocean is at that point in time. and it looks pretty quiet right now, so not bad. Popping over to the map itself, so far only indicating one earthquake on St. George, and that is a 1.5 from 34 minutes after midnight. So it's pronounced so George, so George, so George. Okay, so George, and then he's going to say, what do you want me to sew? And never mind. Sorry. Sow, like a pig. Oh, it's sow? Okay. In Portuguese, sow horte. Okay. We'll work on that, and I'll get into my translations properly. Anyway, let's have some fun here. Let's change that screen a little bit wider here, and there we go. Looking at Sao Jorge. Okay, Sao George is right there, and we do see some other spots around it, but let's go over and have a look at the other one. I'm going to refresh this actually, because we do have a little bit of a swarm out here. Well, 3. Yeah. Okay. No worries, Irish monk, and thank you. Okay, so looking at it, we do see the one that is from about 20 hours ago on our wonderful island here. S. George, as they call it, S. George. There we go. We also have this 2.4 down by the other one, and I'm not even going to try pronouncing that. 15 hours ago, 2.4. And if we zoom in a little bit, and we see these 3 here 4 hours ago, and that is 2.0. It is west of Fayal Island, and I know he's going to say it's Il Fayal. Oh, 23, 20 for this 2.0, and then 4 hours ago for the other 2.0, and of course they are all part of that fracture zone, if you will. There's a lot of fissures in this area, and if we zoom out just a little bit more, it gives you a better idea. This is the Eurasian plate, African plate, and the North American plate on this side, and this happens to be in kind of an area which is really a no man's land as far as the amount of fractures in here. It could get squeezed together and create another continent maybe. We'll see what we can do and find out from there. Anyway, sliding down a little bit gives us a little bit more of an idea of the depths of these. And here's the one on Sao Jorge, right there, 1.5, and that is from this morning, of course. And then we have a 2.4, also surface one. The one of the 2.0s is 8 kilometers down. The other is, of course, surface as well, from 3 hours 53 minutes ago. Sirens, yep, they're coming to get me. They say this stream is too hot. Fun. Anyway, that is what we are seeing out there in the Azores, and that is all pretty cool and awesome. Anyway, I'm popping over to Mexico real quick. We see that is Popocatépetl, and if we go back in time a little bit, actually Saturdays are always good because we can go back quite a ways and see. Actually, today for a change, they did have clear skies there, and love the star view in the background. And we're just going to advance it 5 seconds at a time until we get to their little eruption here. And that should be right about here somewhere. It wasn't anything major coming out of it. There it is. You can see a little bit of a plume and things lighting up, so you do know that it's down there. Somebody said, Sue, it says it's Pepsi time, Doc. Yeah, and I do need to do that, otherwise I am going to blow my voice out again, and I don't want to do that. So what we'll do is we'll come back to this one when I get back off of my break. For all those good people that are in here, if you have not yet hit that like button and you're enjoying the show, by all means give it a quick shot. Also, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do consider subscribing. That would be awesome. And don't forget to hit that bell notification. That way you'll be notified when we do go live. And hopefully that'll work. Okay, I'm back on here. And that, of course, from the 12th of August. And I'm your host, DrFox2000. Going to take a 5-minute break or thereabouts, and I'll be back. Keep smiling and play nice in the lava. And there we go. Microphone is back on. Glad to have you all on board. So welcome or welcome back, you guys. Good to see you. Scott Hartman popped in saying welcome back, Doc. Thank you, Sue. And Alba Girl saying welcome back, same as John. And Kim Rowdenbush. And it begins. My buffering just started. How the heck does that work there, Mr. Kim Rowdenbush? I have no idea how you get buffering all the time. Anyway, we are putting out pretty steady signal, so I can't see why it should be. Thank you, Sasha and Kevin and Sharon Stewart saying, I can hear you. That is awesome. And anyway, on screen, of course, is the lava flow from the 12th of August from our Siggy Fissure in Meridalia Valley up in, up, down, sideways. In, of course, the Reykjanes Peninsula is the area in Iceland. So I'm going to actually stop that for right now, and we'll use our magic and be able to turn that off. Maybe. Can we use magic? Let's try. There we go. Now I did it. Caught it up. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I caught it up while it's hanging in the air. Love making lava hang. And let's carry on, though, with what we were looking at. We were over in Mexico, and we were looking at Popocatépetl, and of course it really didn't do as much as I would have liked it to, but you know, it was there doing its thing. So as soon as it gets over there, why is that not going? There, no, that's not Popocatépetl. That's Sakurajima. Computer, what are you doing? Okay, there we go. Anyway, I've got it there, and let's move it to just about the golden time, since it really wasn't erupting very much. Well, I get it to the morning hours, and this is 6:50 in the morning. You can still see some stars up in the background, which is kind of neat, but as we let it play, we can see it moving forward. And there's a little bit of an eruption, not very much. Again, this is just at the break of dawn, so kind of darkish yet as far as the clouds are concerned, even though it really isn't anything really major or serious. Not a lot of volcanic ash in there, a lot of steam, that kind of thing coming out, and that's what we were seeing. If we move ahead a little bit, we do see it come out of the night twilight zone, if you will, and let's go there. There we go. All lit up and looking a lot better. Still a lot of steam coming out there at about 8:06, and really nothing major to report on it as we continued and progressed time-wise. This is already at 10:14. The only thing weird here is we have a spider web on the camera, and just about no snow. We see a couple little spots left, and that's it for snow on Popocatépetl. So kind of makes the guy wonder what was going on. We do have a little bit of an eruption. Let's see if we can get back right to the start of it. And that would be somewhere right around here. Hopefully I didn't go back too far. Yeah, it should be right there. Just advancing it 5 seconds at a time here, trying to get to the right spot. Might have to go 10 seconds. Oh, no, there it goes. So that was at 11:13, and we do see that. Okay, I'm off to the lurkers. My family require attention. Be back soon. Okay, Alba girl, no problem. Kim says how that works is crappy data coverage at my work site. Oh boy. Well, I hope things get better there. Maybe they can add a new unit out near where you are. What do they call it? A new AP or whatever. Anyway, that's what we were seeing. That looks like it has a little bit more ash in it, and definitely puffing up, and kind of nice to see. I'm going to advance that just 5 seconds at a time, just to expedite it a little bit, and there we go. We see it just starting to dissipate again, and that's kind of what the story is with most of it. There were some other little eruptions, but really nothing, to just basically puffing, if you will, for the most part. And then, of course, it started to get cloudy again, and that is what we were seeing with the clouds rolling in. So if there is something actually coming from the volcano, it was pretty hard to tell at that point in time, because those were indeed clouds. And this is actually partially coming from the volcano as well here. You can see that is coming up the other side. Normally we see this plume. Today we're seeing a little bit on the opposite side of the crater. So kind of neat. And moving on to just about where we are. Notice there's nothing on this side now. It all seems to be coming out the other vent, and that's kind of neat, I think. If we go back to just about, let's go back to our current, and this is what we're seeing right now, 1445, and that is a pretty decent shot. Looking at the other camera angle, we see it off-gassing fairly well there, and creating its own cloud system. Moving on, let's go a little further south, and we will go to Guatemala, and there's Fuego, and of course, no, you can't see Fuego, not till I get back to a reasonable spot, and that would be around here. Fuego, of course, right now, kind of hiding in the clouds, but earlier at 9:40 a.m. their time, it was puffing out some very dirty black stuff, and again, multiple shots coming out of it as it was erupting again. So pretty cool to see that. And actually there was one here that was right in the clouds, and I thought it was kind of neat. We see the clouds actually being lifted up by the plume, which is kind of cool. And there it goes, throwing out a bunch of that material, and that is very dark, very ash-filled type eruption. So too bad we can't see the actual volcano underneath there, due to the clouds, of course. If we go back a little bit more, we can see some more right around here. This one was good, and you can see that is pluming up very nicely. And that was from just about, well, it started at about 10 minutes after 7 a.m. their time. So that is what was being thrown up. And you can see some of that debris actually creating some dust clouds down on the side of the mountain as well, which is pretty cool. Let's see. Okay. Anyway, let's back up a little bit more, see if we can get into the nighttime hours here a little bit. And again, it was fairly cloudy during the night. We do see that. This was at 5:20 a.m. And then prior to that, it was in the clouds. There you've seen that lightning in the background. That is kind of scary, but it is what it is. I don't think it did a heck of a lot at that point anymore, and that's when it was getting lighter outside. Yeah, really not that great of a shot there this morning. And of course, it being cloudy earlier, we couldn't see a heck of a lot. This is a little earlier, and you see the clouds zipping by. let's go a little further south. We will go to Nicaragua, and of course this. Whoop, yeah, I got to make sure I'm on the right screen here. Nicaragua, Cerro Negro in Nicaragua, and then the other one in Nicaragua is Masaya volcano, and both of them are off-gassing, doing their thing. You can definitely see the caldera on this one. A pretty nice shot. I'm surprised this one always seems to show up, but problem with that is I just realized that is actually from the 29th of September, so about 2 days ago, and it's no wonder it's a nice shot. They should refresh them. Well, let's see if we refresh that screen. Yep, same date, same time. So not seeing a new one. That is kind of a darn thing. Anyway, let's keep going with other volcanoes here. Just checking my time. It's all good. And hang on, which one did we click on? We are to go over to Merapi, and let's see if Merapi will make us happy. It is still in the dark, 3:49 a.m. and even when we go back an hour and a half or so, 2:30, we see it is continuing to off gas, but we're not seeing any lava flow coming out, so things are a little bit quieter there for what we've seen in the past. And of course that is just some clouds hanging around. And earlier than that, we see there was a little bit of lava there at just about, well, I had it written down as 10 minutes before midnight, so that is about right there. You can see a little bit, but it really isn't anything to write home about because of the clouds. And we actually, if we back up a little bit more, I just wanted to kind of emphasize, take a look at the chart here on the side, and it shows that they did have some movement and an eruption of some sort, and it even looks like they had lava fall all the way down to here, but really not any good indicators for us, and nothing visible really. There's a little bit right there. I wonder if that's coming out the side or if that's just being a shot out from up in the top. But that is what we had. Gives you a little bit of an idea. It is still quite active, doing its thing. So yeah, I wish it was a lot more bacon than that, though, John. It is definitely. Okay, buffering is really kicked in. Take care, everyone. Okay, Kim, take care. All the best to you. And sorry that your signals down there are buffering on you. Anyway, let's pop over to New Zealand, and there is Mount Ruapehu. And of course, that is hiding behind some clouds as well. Even if we go back in time a little bit, it was even worse. So it is starting to clear for them, but we don't see a heck of a lot. I'm going to put that back on live. There you can see it. Unfortunately, some cloud in the way, and we can't really see too much of it at this point. Wanted to get over to my volcano map here, and people were asking for me to zoom in and show some stuff here about where our Taupo is, and we'll take a look at that in half a second. Where are we here? Click on this guy, and that is the northern island of New Zealand, and we're going to zoom right in. Ruapehu is here, and this is where Taupo volcano is, and that is actually in the lake, or I guess part of the lake. The whole thing, big volcano. Anyway, that is what we've got sitting there. I don't see too much happening right now, unfortunately, and when we click on this, it says it is in a state of unrest, and that is what we've got. So according to them, Yeah, I think they've got it in the wrong place here. This should be on land, not in the water. At least I don't believe it's in the water. They're showing it in the water. I think somebody's map is off. I wonder if it isn't this guy over here. I don't know for sure. I think that is Ruapehu though. Anyone know 100%? Because I don't think that is it. Wouldn't it be over on this end, right around here somewhere? At least that's what I was thinking. So, okay, we'll have to do our thing. Thanks, Tom, for that 5-minute warning, and welcome. I'm glad to have you on board. Taupo, right there. And, of course, the other one is White Isle Volcano. And that is what we've got. Okay, so let's pop over. We did take a look at that. And we will go over and have a quick look at Krakatau. And there you can see off in the distance, you can definitely see that it is doing some smoking. And where's my, there it is, got it. We see the lit up area here. Of course, that is where the primary vent is. And I know it's a hard picture to actually try to visualize, but that is the caldera in here. And this is a very long distance shot across the water, looking at where it is. We do see on the graph here that it did peak up for a while and is in a dropping state again. So it seems to cycle up and down in waves. And they did have some pretty nasty weather there. And that is kind of what was happening. We know that they had all kinds of thunderstorms and things like that happening in the area, so not an unusual thing for them to have that. Let's take a look and see if Semeru, I'm going to refresh that, see if Semeru is on. Yep, they do have Semeru on here, so right after their commercials, we'll click on that and get rid of it, and there is Semeru, and let's see if we can get a better shot. There we go. That looks better. And of course, Semeru definitely cooking up top. We do see a little spot there. I didn't actually look to see how much we had from before, going back about an hour. That is right around here. Really doesn't look any different. And if we go back about 2 hours, let's see what it looks like then. Yeah, a little bit of lighting up the clouds above it as it is erupting a little bit. Let's back up another 15 minutes or so and see. Oh, a little bit of bacon, and we'll go back. Yeah, so that must have just happened right around that time period. I'm just going ahead 5 seconds at a time, trying to locate the actual spot. There we can see it glowing, and it seems to be kind of running down the hill. So not seeing where it actually came from, possibly a hole or a vent that is in the side of the caldera rather than the top of the caldera, which is kind of odd, but well, not really. We get holes in there all the time, right? So that's kind of what we were seeing, and pretty awesome there. Anyway, for a nighttime at 1:41 in the morning, that's not bad. Looks all right. Thanks for that, Colin. No worries. Anyway, let's leave that guy be. We'll pop over to our next one, and of course, moving on to Japan, and that is Sakurajima. And Sakurajima is just continuing to do its thing. It is a busy volcano. It's throwing out a lot of material, and a lot of ash, a lot of SO2. But we don't see so much lava flow, but it is certainly doing a lot of off-gassing, if you will. If we go back about an hour, we barely could see it, and that would be right around here. So it's hard to see if there was anything really major going on, and I did look to see if we could find any lava coming out, and I really didn't see anything earlier. This is about 4 hours back already, at 2 a.m. and going back 5 hours, you know, you don't see anything at all. It's been kind of benign, quiet in that sense, but we know it is certainly doing its thing as far as throwing off the gas and the other materials. Let's put that back to a live quick peek. Hey, ice cream boat's in. Anyone want to go for ice cream? They're there, definitely on at the docks. So again, down the road here, turn there, and then I'll make a left at the lights and go down to the dock, and you'll see your ice cream. So and that is pretty cool. And now that you can go get your ice cream while I go take a break. And for those good people that are here, if you've hit the like button so far, that'd be great. If you're new and you haven't hit that like button, by all means, do give it a quick shot. It really would help out. Is a caldera in Lake Taupo. Okay, so it is basically the lake. That is kind of what I thought. And all right, no worries. We'll continue with our other stuff here as we go. And that's probably why I didn't see it. It's in the lake. And interesting. I'm going to have to do more reading on that one. Really will have to. But anyway, once we get back, we'll go through the Japanese ones. We do want to kind of add a few footnotes on one of the other ones that's out on an island, and that is kind of interesting. And hey, Do Free is here. Welcome. I'm glad to have you back on board. Anyway, I'm your host, DrFox2000, and I will be back in about, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes with bacon seeds, and we'll go from there with once we get those guys going. So stick around, more to come, you guys, and keep smiling, play nice in the lava. I'll be back. Thanks. And the microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. Of course, what's on the screen right now is not live. That is what we call canned lava from August 12th from our Siggy Fisher. And thank you for the welcome backs from Kevin and Herbian and Mona Alfano and Do Free saying what? Dr. Fox from your Pepsi break. Thanks. And John Raper also saying welcome back. And Sharon Stewart says, I hear you. All right. Thanks, Kevin and Colin and Sasha. All awesome. Anyway, quick pop over there. Ice cream boat is still there, just so we know. And that is all good. There you can see it, and that's not too bad. You can see the smokestack there. So definitely ice cream boat still intact. Hopefully you got yours, and I will do my thing. Thank you, Sue. And that is all cool. Anyway, this was the last bacon seed of yesterday, so let's get into the first ones for today, and that is this guy, and he almost looks like he needs a hogwash. I'm still working on that emoji, by the way, for some reason. This morning when I was trying to get it to work, I had no way of reducing the physical size of the picture I started with, and I was very disappointed, trust me. You know, rather than being frustrated, I just carried on. Anyway, and that little guy, pardon me, hiccup from my Pepsi, that little guy there, of course, has got some kind of a squash or melon there that he's pushing around, and likely getting it to the right point where he can get in there and start munching on it. And let's get to the next bacon seed, though. Playing ball, yep, that's possible. Here's a little guy, and talking about hogwashes, he's in the bathroom already, and he's looking at, I guess that would be Mama or somebody that is taking care of him, and smiling, saying, hey, give me a bath. I'm a dirty hog. Anyway, trotter ball. There you go, Sue. That is good. Anyway, that looks, yep, pick me up. And then the next one, of course, shows him, I don't know if that's the same one. That looks a little smaller than the one we just seen, but this guy is definitely getting a hogwash, and that is pretty cool. I like seeing that, and spotted just like the other one. Don't think they're quite the same, because if we look, that guy looks a lot bigger. You see how tall he is. He almost comes up to the knees there, and that's fairly big. And this one here looks like it's kind of a handful size mini pig. Yep, pretty cool. And anyway, that is going to get a bath there. And next one, of course, is this one, definitely getting a hogwash, and looking like it's why you're taking a picture of me while I'm having a bath. Definitely a clean pig, though, and that's what we like to see. You seem to, what? You seen they can move them, by the next photo. Yep, they move. Anyway. Well, I'll leave that be. So, okay, next one, and this is another hogwash scenario, and that is kind of funny seeing that, but that is there, and that is a hogwash, if you want to call it that. We like seeing that. More like what you are waiting for. Okay. Pig swim, yep. And one more time here for our last bacon seed for today, and that is this guy. And He looks like he's having a bath with a friend and telling you, the camera guy, to do your thing. Anyway, that is pretty cool. Um, I was asking if pigs can wag their tails. I know they whip them around a little bit, but I don't know if they actually wag their tails when they're happy and that kind of stuff. Do not make it end. Anyway, I really don't know. I'm not a pig expert. I know they twitch their tails around, but yes, pigs can wag their tails. Thanks, Robert and Chandel. And twerking tails. Yep. I know they can do their thing, so if they wag, that'd be pretty awesome. And anyway, that looks kind of funny with his tongue sticking out there like that. So that's it for our wonderful bacon seeds today, you guys. And we really, really like that. And they are cute indeed. So gotta love it. Gotta love it. They mainly twirl them in circles. Ah, okay. Pigs have quite a personality. They're awesome. Yep. And you know the nice part is they actually smile when they're happy. They will smile, which is something that is very difficult to tell on many animals. But pigs will smile in such a way that you can see the smirk on their face. That kind of thing. It's kind of neat. Anyway, going back over to Sakurajima in Japan, we see it there doing its thing, and we can see that plume heading off to the north there, and kind of throwing some ash and SO2 and everything else in that general direction. And let's go have a closer look. There we go. And you can see this is current and live, 6:15 a.m. there in Japan, and we see that it is continuing to off gas and throw out a lot of that dirty ash style material that's coming out. So cool to see. Let's move on to our other shot here, the close-up camera. And that is, of course, the crater. You can see the edges here and the amount of smoke that's coming out of it. Pretty awesome. And we'll continue on with having a look at some of the other ones in Japan as well. And this is, of course, Aso. And the sun hasn't quite risen there yet at Aso-san. And of course, the shot not as nice as I'd like it. It's 720p, but we're also looking through an extra pane of glass with that camera, and that is what we're seeing right there. So some smoke coming out. Of course, this volcano, the caldera is right there. It is rated as a green, so it's not erupting right at this point in time. But we still have a very hot floor in that caldera, and of course the caldera being a bowl basically captures all that water when it rains, and then we get off gassing, so there's a little bit of a lake in there, and that's what we're seeing until we get another big major eruption that will continue like that. So pretty cool. Next one is in Japan as well, and that is Suwanoshijima, and I think we have a bug problem, and I don't know if that's a bug dance or what it is, but it is in the way. Go away, you're bugging me. Anyway, that is 6:16 a.m. and that's what we're seeing. Yep, bugs. And bugs make life a little difficult. bird food, I call it. Anyway, backing up a little bit there to 5:52 pre-bug time. We can see quite a bit of gas coming off of that volcano, and it's doing its thing there. If we go back a little bit more here, about an hour ago, there we go, hour and 16 minutes ago, and that is what we were seeing, and there is definitely some light in there. I did not see any lava splashing out, but definitely a major glow, and that is a pretty good indicator that we do have wonderful lava popping out once in a while out of that thing. Moving back a little bit more, let's see, 4 or 5 hours ago, everything was a little bit calmer pre that little event. So this is just about midnight of their time. I don't see anything there. If we go back a little bit further, still nothing. So that's about 10:39 Japan time. So that's what we're seeing. Really not too much to it, but looks like Spitter the spider is doing its thing, weaving a web. Maybe, I have no idea. It's leaving. Oh, it left. I guess it didn't like my mouse being up there, or sorry, hamster. Anyway, that is what we've got there right now. Now, since we were talking about that guy, I did want to go and take a look at something here. Okay, so the other one in Japan that is of interest is, and let me see if I can get onto the volcano map. There's the volcano map, and let's zoom out a little bit. And we want to move northward here towards Japan, is this guy. And this guy has been doing some nasty things. What is it? Nishimoshima, if I said it right. And that is kind of there, but what I was going to mention is that it definitely was doing some other things here. Hang on, I'm trying to get back to that page so I can read it. All right, so it basically says in the report that an advisory has been issued, and that is for aircraft, and that is as of today, and that they have ash coming out up to about 7,000 feet or 2,100 meters, and it is off-gassing. That is this guy here, and it's definitely causing some issues, I guess, and the plume is heading out to the east, so that is pretty good. Grandma B says, I missed the stream yesterday. My power went out, but watched this morning. Great stuff. Yeah, it is Grandma B. Definitely was very sad news. Okay, I see she has a lost. A loss. I didn't know about it. Okay, actually, yeah, just to run through that again, just so everybody is clear on what's happened. So her one dog, Tricel, if I said the name right, was passed away about, what was it, 5 days ago. And that was her Scotty, who was 14 years old, would have been 15 today on the 1st here. And poor thing passed away. And then what happened yesterday, actually, during the stream, her other Scotty that she has, Since the first one passed away, Wicker would not eat, or very, very little. And anyway, Wicker passed away just at the kind of the beginning of our stream yesterday, and that is very, very unfortunate and sad. And it really does make a guy feel, kind of helpless. What do you do? And poor Piggy, having lost both her Scotties within, about 4 or 5 days. That's just horrible. And it is. All I can say is, big hugs for Piggy. Unfortunately, it's we hate to say it, but it is part of nature, and the fact that Piggy had these dogs. Wicker was actually, well, she had Tricelle from, I think, from a puppy, if I'm not mistaken, and then Wicker was 2 years old when she got her, was a rescue, and both dogs basically spent their life together since that period of time. And of course, yeah, thanks, Tom. Anyway, Piggy, loved them both, and took care of them, and kept them in a wonderful, wonderful life. And it's unfortunate, but it is part of the circle of life for these animals. The fact that the first one there, Tricelle, made it to just about the age of 15 is actually kind of impressive, because the average life is about 12 years. So, with love and care and tenderness, the dog did live a very good, happy life, and Piggy did what she needed to for her wonderful animals, and she took good care of them. And these things unfortunately happen, but to have them happen in such quick succession is, I think, what really kind of hurts all the way through. So anyway, I don't want to procrastinate on that too much. Let's leave that be. Otherwise, I'm going to get a little over emotional again. And being a friend of Piggy's, of course, it's just one of those things. I feel what she's gone through, and hope that she can recover from this without, I'm not going to say without too much pain. It's going to be painful. It's going to be time. That's all we can say. It really is going to take her a lot of time. Anyway, we looked at Japan there. I'm going to put it back onto our lava here for a little bit. And I am going to actually pop off and have that break now. I feel my throat starting to go, so need to take that break, you guys. Anyway, for those good people here, if you are enjoying the show, please hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Also, if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please do consider subscribing if you feel we've earned it. And on that friendly note, I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and I'm going to take a 5 or 6 minute break, and then we'll be back and we'll continue on going through some of the other volcanoes that we look at on a normal basis. So next up will be Taal, as well as having a look at Hawaii. And then we'll take a look at earthquakes, volcanoes around the world, and weather. So keep smiling, be good, play nice in the lava, and I'll be back in a little bit. Don't go away. Thank you. Okay, the microphone is back on. Welcome or welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you all on board. And of course, I'm your host, DrFox2000, and you're watching VolcanoX live stream. And I see a few more people popped in, like Kirst Chaplin, welcome, and good night to John. See you later, Kananaskis country. Who else popped in? Raymond Bensler, glad to have you on board. And hi to anyone else that I may have missed. So good to have you all here. And thank you for the welcome backs from Sue and Grandma B and Do Free and Alba Girl. I hear you from Sharon Stewart. And let's see, who else? Kevin Haynes. And that's awesome. So all good, and Adele is leaving as well. Good night, Adele, if you're heading out. And Alba Girl, did I say hi to you earlier? I don't know if I did, but welcome. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, I'm going to use our magic here and stop our volcanic eruption, and right there. I love having that power. Isn't that neat? If I only could do that in real life, that would be really, really awesome. So, anyway, let's go back and take a look at the rest of our wonderful stuff here. I know Taal is not... oh, hang on. Taal is actually working. There, I clicked on it, and that's what we're looking at right now. For some reason, it wasn't showing me proper video earlier, and they're zooming in. Okay, so yep, we can see that it is off-gassing and doing its thing, steaming from the caldera here. And of course, that is Taal volcano, and it is inside Taal Lake, and we see it pluming some steam. And of course that lake that's inside the caldera there is at a much, much higher temperature and causes the steaming of all that water. And it seems, you know, if it gets low on water, of course that rain and everything else that flows back in there allows it to continue to steam like that. So that's kind of what we're seeing out at Taal. It is fairly quiet, and you know, continuing to off-gas. We've seen it though before, where this thing will be off-gassing like this, or steaming a little bit, and what can happen is all of a sudden we get a crack or a small fissure develop in the bottom of that lake, and of course if that water then hits the hot magma, the water will flash to steam, and steam being at least 100 times the volume of water, it will cause a very big eruption, or explosion, I should say, and then we'll see a massive eruption of sorts. So right now it seems to be fairly quiet and stable, and just allowing some of that lake water to steam off. So pretty cool. And that's all we've got there right now. We'll leave that guy be. Let's head over to our next location, and of course that is there in Yellowstone National Park, and that of course is the place where we have over 500 active geysers. And you can see some of them steaming there, and you can see a lot of Sasquatches and bodies and everything walking around. Anyway, I was watching this morning, and you know, I was saying to myself, gee, I wonder what happened to all the buffalo. I haven't seen too many of them, and I actually seen 2 buffalo this morning wandering through, heading towards Old Faithful. So I haven't seen them for a while. Hey, Banana Puss is back. Welcome. Glad to have you on board. Anyway, that is what we're seeing there right now. The Old Faithful is not doing anything right now. It was earlier, and unfortunately they didn't have the camera on there now. that darn thing doesn't go off at the right time all the time. So we just got to wait for it. Anyway, let's pop over to Hawaii, and we'll take a quick look there. And Hawaii has been doing its thing, and of course there is our lava pond. The thing that I can tell right off the bat here is you look at the depth right in here. It tells you how low that level is within our little lava pond or lake, and that is unfortunate that it is that low. Of course, down here at this end is where the lava tube is that feeds the fresh lava into the lava pond, and then we see these lighter areas here and over here. And what's happening is that we have gas bubbles popping up as the lava is draining down into the abyss underneath there somewhere. This one may be the one that's feeding its lava over into the toe area, or that we nicknamed the toe area anyway. So we'll see that flow, and of course the gas bubbles break up the thin crust that has developed on there, the lava, as it cools a bit. So that's what we're seeing right there. I'm going to refresh that so we get, now this was from 1:46 a.m. Hawaii time, and we'll refresh it, look at it right now. Again, here's the primary entry point of the lava, and it flows in this way. And here you can see a little bit there going into, and I do believe there's still a tunnel going in, and we don't see the second bridge anymore. And I think that has broken off now and collapsed. So we've only see the one big chunk in the middle here, and things have changed a bit for us when we look at that. So that secondary bridge that we used to see has disappeared, collapsed, but the first one still has to be intact, because it is definitely continuing to refill that toe area. Again, here you can see some of that hot lava, and that is, of course, one of the places that it's draining out underneath here somewhere. But the levels are still fairly low, probably 3 to 4 meters below average, or below full, I should say. And that's kind of what we've got right there right now. Again, 1:47 a.m., this is what it looked like. Primary vent is right about there. This is that little hornito where it divides, and there's the lava tube underneath that we can't see here. So that's what that shot is. We'll refresh that one as well. You get a little bit more of an idea of what it looks like. And there again is the primary vent, and very hard to tell where the other little hornito is. I think it might be right around there because of that smoke. Anyway, we did see quite a bit of an uprise in this thing before, and it did sink back down a little bit. And then of course I showed those videos there the other day of how this thing is kind of sitting right now. It is looking like it is raised up, and it is in fact a little bit higher than the outside edges, but that caldera is filling up slowly and getting higher in level, even though right now the levels seem to be down a little bit again. So not sure what the heck is going on. Anyway, you can see the outline of that higher area when you're looking at that kind of a darker material there. This is actually a cooled off lava that is probably anywhere from a meter to about 4 or 5 meters thick, and it has literally created an island floating on top of some of I guess, well, hot, more liquidy lava / magma underneath it. So that's what we're seeing. Areas of interest here, we're still seeing a lot of steam coming off from fairly high up on the side here. We still haven't seen this collapse in, but that will in all likelihood collapse and kind of fall into the crater itself. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the future with that spot. And we don't see as much smoke on this side today, so kind of makes you wonder. This thing is kind of quiet right now. Going to the other side of the caldera, there you can see the primary vent in the dark, of course, and there's our main lava pond. There's that little hornito, and then somewhere in there underneath would have that lava tube, and that's kind of what we're seeing. Let's refresh that one so we get a current shot. That was from 1:41. This is from 11:41 a.m. Hawaii time, and it's actually a pretty good shot. You can see Pig Island right there, a little bit of that toe area, and of course we have a little bit of a back shell that it developed in there, and it's a little higher than the area, so we don't see the toe area as well from this angle. Anyway, lava pond doing its thing, primary vent doing its thing, and we don't see as much off-gassing around the edges, and usually we see quite a bit on that back side, and I think it's just because the lava level is very low right now in the whole caldera. Well, it's not that low. It's lower than what it normally is, right? But just to kind of throw it in there, from the crater floor to where it is sitting now, it's approximately 143 meters, or about 469 feet, and somewhere around 111 million cubic meters of lava sitting inside that caldera, which is roughly about 29.2 billion gallons. And it first started erupting back on the 29th of September last year. So that's where we're at with it. Let's have a quick look at the thermals. Okay, Doctor, I don't see the moving pebble. Oh, the pebble? The one in the front? Yeah, they moved the camera. And even with us zoomed out here, down on the bottom, they moved the camera. Oh, I clicked on the wrong one. Darn it. Put that back. Let me get on the right one here. Where'd I go? Where'd I go? Oh no, I lost my picture. No, that's not Hawaii. Holy mackerel, what happened to my Hawaii? My Hawaii has disappeared on me all of a sudden. I still have it on the screen. Oh, there it is. I was going to slide that down. Why does that not have a thing on the edge of it? I should be able to slide that down. It doesn't allow me to. Okay. Oh, now it'll slide down. There we go. But my capture area is not very good. The down in here, that they cut it off just right at the edge here. That pebble, the rock is just below this, and we no longer see that pebble, unfortunately. I wish we could, because that was a good indicator of what's going on and how much shaking we had in the area. Anyway, I'm going to leave it back on this one right here, and we will go take a look at the earthquakes that we've been seeing. And I got to get myself on the right map here. Holy Batman. Oh, there we go. And zooming into Hawaii. While we're looking, I'm checking the other ones here. Ooh, this is new. 5. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a bit. Anyway, I don't believe there were as many quakes. Well, we'll take a look. And of course, that is Hawaii. Pahala area, Mauna Loa up top here. Mauna Loa's had some bigger ones. 3.5 is a pretty good sized quake for up top. We don't see anything over on Mauna Kea, and we don't see anything right on Kilauea either. So, but we'll take a look at Mauna Loa. That may be the next thing that's going to pop for us. But for right now, let's take a look at the Pahala area. And of course, those depths are all somewhere between about 26 and 37 kilometers roughly, depending on the day. And that's usually what we see. Let's start out with this guy from yesterday at 21:30, and it is a 2.0. Then we'll catch these out in the water here first. Yesterday's as well from 20:39, and it is at 1.9. Then a 2.4 from 19:02 yesterday, and we'll get into these here. 2.1, 3:06 a.m. For that guy. Then we have 2.0. That was yesterday as well, 20:23. And right beside it, we have 1.9 from yesterday at 17:47. Then we see this guy here, 2.8, a little bit bigger, for 36 a.m. today. And going up a little more, having a look at 2.3, yesterday's at 21:07. Then we have this one here, a 1.8, 5:49 a.m. And this 1.6 from yesterday at 16:43. Sliding over a little bit more, taking a look at these other ones here. 2.1 from 10:20 a.m. Today, of course. And then this one, 2.6, a little bit larger, at 10:11 a.m. Then we have this guy, 2.3 at 9:20 a.m. A smaller one, 1.9, 4:39 a.m. And sliding up a little bit, seeing a 2.0 at 2:50 a.m. And that is it for the Pahala area. Let's get up on top of Mauna Loa. And it seems that we have two areas in Mauna Loa that are really kind of rocking. Primary vent up top here, and just sliding off to the side. And then this area, which is kind of maybe a secondary area. We'll see what happens. But let's take a look at these. 1.8, and that is yesterday's at 18:49, 0.9 kilometers down below sea level. This one is a 1.8, 0.7 of a kilometer above sea level into the mountain from 10:38 a.m. And then we have a 1.5. It is 1.2 kilometers above sea level, 10:03. Then we have this guy, 2.0 from 9:58, 1 kilometer above sea level. This one is 1.9, and that is yesterday's 21:50. And then we see another 1.9 from 9:39 a.m. That is half a kilometer above sea level. Did I get the depth on this one? 0.7 of a kilometer above sea level on that one. This one, 1.7, 16:47 is the time on that one. 600 meters above sea level into the mountain. This 1.7, 4 minutes after midnight, almost a kilometer up into the big mountain here. Of course, this thing is huge, right? So it has some room to go. And anyway, this other one here, minus 1.6 in other words, 1.6 kilometers above sea level, 1.8 in magnitude. Yesterday's at 16:10, and there's that bigger one, 3.5, 101, 101 a.m. and 700 meters above sea level. Then we also have a 2.4 right beside it from yesterday's 16:55, and that is 800 meters above sea level. And then we see these guys here, 1.9, 2:30 this morning, and that is 600 meters below sea level. And this one, 1.4, 9:55 a.m. and 3 kilometers down. This guy, 0.7 from 1122, 5.6 kilometers down, a little bit deeper, I guess. 4.7 kilometers down from 1132 as well. Then we have this one, 0.6, 3.1 kilometers down, and that is 10:20 a.m. There's one more underneath there. Oh, two more, sorry. Right there, we see a 1.6, 6:07 a.m., 2.7 kilometers down. And this guy, another a 0.6 at 8:41 a.m., 4.1 kilometers down. And then somewhere out here we had two more. There we go. 0.7, 9:42 a.m., minus 1.7, so 1.7 kilometers above sea level. And then this guy here, 1.8, 11:57 was the time on that from today, 2.2 kilometers down. And that's kind of it for over there. Looking in this area, nothing at Kilauea itself. The Fisher Zone over here, well, kind of not in the Fisher Zone. This would be the Fisher Zone or over here. But this 2.3 from 6:39 a.m. is 3.8 kilometers down. So that is kind of what we got. And hey, nice to see your Arizona snowman. And that's it for Hawaii as far as earthquakes and shakers. Let's check out North America real quick. We do see here in Mexico 5.5, fairly recent, from 10:36 this morning, 23.7 kilometers down. There was another little guy here near Guatemala, 4.3, 2:05 a.m., 10 kilometers down. Looking over on the other side here, we did see this Antigua and Barbuda, and 27.2 kilometers down for that guy was from yesterday, 23:27. And of course, we have the other ones here, 4.7 Dominican Republic, and they also had another 3.8 there. Hopefully everything there is okay for those good people. This one's a little bit further inland in Peru, kind of odd, but it is there, 4.7 from 23 minutes after midnight, 157.3 kilometers down. And then we go slide down here, 4.1 in Chile from yesterday at 23:33, 117 kilometers down, and 4.4 in Argentina, 215 kilometers down from 40 minutes after 2 a.m. Their time. I know I'm kind of going backwards here, but I want to catch these other ones. We did see that, we got that 6.5 here from the 28th. That was fairly big in South Sandwich Islands, but they have another 4.6 today at 6:32 a.m., 10 kilometers down. And then Mid-Atlantic Ridge, we see this one near the Ascension Islands, 10 kilometers down for this 5.0. And that was actually yesterday at 23:12. And of course, our big ones that we had here, we already kind of talked about that. 6.0 in magnitude from yesterday, 1918, 10 kilometers down. And then looking at the other ones, 4.8 from 2006 yesterday, another 4.8 from 22:59 or 58 yesterday, and then this one 4.6, and that was from today, 7:41 a.m. All of them 10 kilometers down. But hey, we're seeing that in that area very concentrated, and it really makes me wonder if we are going to see possibly an eruption there. You never know. It's going to be interesting. Anyway, sliding over to our New Zealand area and Australia and Indonesia, and that we'll have a look at these. Looks like Kermadec Ridge, Kermadec Islands, 4.6 from this morning at 1:21, 185 kilometers down for that guy from that area. Here's another one, 4.3. 377 kilometers down, And of course, being a subduction zone there, that's not surprising to see them be very, very deep. Another one, 4.9, and we see that one at 162 kilometers down. Atlantis rising. Gonna steal a boat and see what's coming up. Yeah, out of Atlantis. If you think that's Atlantis rising, that would be interesting. Really, really interesting. Anyway, another one here. This one's a little closer to Fiji, but 4.5, and that is 497 kilometers down. And you notice the further away it is from the actual fault line here, that seems the deeper they are. So going in that direction, as this plate is subducting under the Indonesian plate here. So pretty cool. Looking at this other one, 4.5, Papua New Guinea, and that's 10 kilometers down. We have another 4.9 also there, 102 kilometers down from 4:25 a.m. A brand new fresh one there, 4.4, Indonesia, 34.6 kilometers down from 15:24. And I'm way over my break time. I need to go take a break. So we'll finish off with earthquakes, and I need to go do that break right away. I hear my voice is starting to crack. So 1341 for this 4.6 in the Banda Sea, 127 kilometers down, and 4.8 Indonesia, and doing its thing. And that is 66.4 kilometers down from 7:50 a.m. Down here we see a whole stack of them actually, and there's some interesting stuff there. 5.4, and that was from yesterday, 21:54. The 4.7 from 22:26. 4.6, 5:05 a.m. Today, 4.7 from yesterday, 22:25, then another 4.6 from 10:19 today, and that is just about 40 kilometers down. This other one, 4.8 from today as well at 9:56 a.m., just about 31 kilometers down. And that just about wraps up our earthquakes. Let's just have a look at these last two here. This one is part of our Japanese islands, and that is 5.0, 6:44 a.m. Their time, and that was 48 kilometers down. Then a 5.7 in this area, and we're seeing that 28 kilometers down from 9:02 a.m. Zooming out a little bit, we don't see anything really, really big and major. I do want to check this quake, and this is just above the Arabian plate here, and that is a 5.7. Whoop, hang on. Let's click on the 4.3. There we go. That's better. That was from yesterday at 23:41, 3.1 kilometers down, and that may cause our Anatoly plate here to push on the Algerian plate, or Anatoly microplate, push on the Algerian microplate. We'll see what happens in the future. Probably see some more quakes down here in that subduction zone. On that note, for right now, I do need to take that break, you guys. So put you back on the lava, and I will be back in a little while. Otherwise, I am going to lose my voice, and we don't want that to happen, do we? For all those good people that are here, if you haven't hit that like button yet, I see we're still too shy of hitting that magic 100 mark. Hopefully we can do that. Have we had bacon seeds? Yes, we did, Trevor. We had them about an hour ago. I hope you had a nice nap. Anyway, I'm your host, DrFox2000, who is wide awake, and I will be back in a little while here, 5 or 6 or 7 minutes, and Banana Puss says, no, I need my bedtime story. I'll be back, and then we'll go over those other things like weather and volcanoes and stuff, and look at that. So anyway, be good, you guys. Stick around. More to come. And I'm your host, Dr. Fox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. And I'll be back in a little while here. Hit that like button if you haven't done that yet. Thanks. I'll be back. microphone is back on. Welcome back, everyone. I'm glad to have you on board. And thank you, Trevor. And I see a couple people are leaving. Colin Deadman leaving. Good night, Colin. Be good. Enjoy your sleep. And we do understand it's getting late over there. Welcome also to John C. And thank you for the welcome backs to Trevor. And of course, I hear you from Sharon Stewart and Sue Hayes and Kevin Haynes and Sasha and so on. And I thank you, everyone. That is awesome. I'm gonna stop our wonderful lava here for a minute. If I'm on the right thing, and again I'm not, let's click on the right one. There we go. Stop it right there for now, and love having that power just to stop lava in midair. Oh, I wish I'd be a hero if I could do that. But anyway, let's get over to our we went through our earthquakes. We want to take a quick look at our volcanoes around the world, and then we will go and take a look at our weather and see how things are building up and doing. So a quick peek at the thing. Irish Monk, I do have a question for you. I see that you said you fell off your crutches. I hope you're okay. Hopefully you didn't hurt yourself. If people leave early, they still get an invoice. Awesome, Irish Monk. I just hope you didn't hurt yourself when you fell. And thank you for being number 100. So pretty awesome. Anyway, a quick trip around the world. Have a look at our wonderful volcanoes. Of course, up there in Iceland, we still have Astra, and of course, Sao Horte, and of course, the other one that is there, Tercera, if I said it right. I'm sure that Irish Monk will figure something out for me to be able to pronounce that correctly if I mispronounced it. I fell on my head, no harm done to the floor. Excellent. As long as you didn't hurt the floor, that is very, very important. Anyway, sliding down. Here's that one happened 20 minutes ago, 5.0 north of Ascension Island. So that's a new one. And we also see this one here 9 hours ago off of Portugal, 4.8. Fair-sized quake, and I bet you that has a lot to do with all the ones that are happening here at the end of the Reykjavik Ridge. Anyway, zipping around real quick, pretty much everything is still doing what it was doing before. Nothing really super new. We still see Taupo and White Isle Volcano, both yellow. Multiple quakes. Here's another one, 5.4, 17 minutes ago, according to this one. And that is right there. If we take a look, 33 kilometers down, and again, Kermadec Ridge area. I'm moving along here to Tofua, and of course, Home Reef Volcano. And I'm still not sure. I haven't seen any updates on it to see if our island has grown any bigger. I would really like to start selling some more real estate there, so hopefully it'll get a little bigger and we can do our thing. And over here in the American Samoan Islands, we do have Tau, and it hasn't done anything really spectacular as of yet. Hoping it'll be good. Hey, Nancy Buchanan, good to see you. And let's carry on. Frank McLeod also here. Welcome, Frank. Yasur and his buddies still doing their thing. They did have that 4.9 there, and that was earlier today from 1343. And pretty much everything else is still chugging along. Doing what it does best. And of course the the ones here in Indonesia, pretty normal stuff. Nothing really changed. This guy, Nishino Shima, has been throwing out, and of course an advisory thrown out for that guy, throwing ash up to about the 7,000 foot mark in the sky. So advisory for aircraft in that area. Suwanoshijima and Sakurajima are still doing their thing. They did have a quake here 6 hours ago, 5.7, and that is a sizable quake. Hopefully everybody is okay. Nothing really changed here in our Kamchatka area, and no real changes in the Aleutian Islands either. Everything else looks pretty normal. Piton de la Fournaise volcano, La Réunion. That's my best French. And of course, Piton volcano here in Reunion Island, still showing as active, and we'll see if we can get more pictures of that in the future. Leo Carlson also made it in. Welcome, Leo. Glad to have you on board. Old Doño still doing its thing, and our friends here in not Nicaragua, DR Congo are still there. And of course, there's where Erta Ale lives, and it usually gets covered up with the SO2 from Saudi Arabia, so really hard to tell if it's doing anything. Sliding in here a little bit more, Etna, Volcano Stromboli, and then of course Campi, and beside Campi is Mount Vesuvius, just on the other side of Naples, and that is still there and being quiet. So we can leave that map alone. We'll pop over to the Azores, not the Azores, Canary Islands. How about that? We'll try those guys. I do see this one here, 3.4, which happened at 4:19 a.m. UTC time, and it doesn't show a depth there. 30 kilometers down is what I see on the chart, but really nothing new happening. We do see this guy here, 1.1 from 1731, and that guy, of course, is where on our list? I didn't see it turn blue, so it should be right up at the top. Yep, it is 12 kilometers down for that 1.1 from 1731. Now, having said that, that leaves nothing else left in La Palma. There's nothing new for today in La Palma so far, and that is kind of what we have got there. And we aren't seeing the other one that's indicated on the map. It's slightly above that magic line there, and that's kind of what we've got. So unfortunately, nothing else there. Quick peek at the one over on the west coast. This is the state of Washington, and of course, going down a little bit more, you end up in Oregon, down on the bottom here, and just seeing some of those from yesterday. There's nothing from today really that showed up in this map. I do believe maybe this guy, yep, and that was 14 minutes after midnight, 2.7 down there, and I think that's actually in California already, because that's pretty far down. Hard to tell. Yeah, it is too. And when's this guy from? Oh, that's a couple of days back. Not going to worry about him. But nice to see that. That's, of course, the, what do they call this? Pacific Northwest Seismic Network. And that is pretty cool. If you guys want the link for that, we'll drop it in the chat real quick. And there you go. And you can have a look at that if you like. And let's leave the earthquakes be. Going to put it back on this one, just to double check real quick. I don't see any new big red hot spots anywhere, and that'll be good for that. Let us get over and have a look at the weather. So we'll see if we can see what's going on weather-wise, and get things to change over here a little bit. Irish monk, wow. Um, uh, €1 each to pay for a Leo's barbecue. Holy Batman, that is very cool, Irish monk. Thank you very kindly for that wonderful super chat. And Irish monk, 42 euros. That is just awesome. And holy mackerel, eh? And of course, the barbecue that he's talking about, of course. Let me, no, that's not him. That's not the barbecue. We want a barbecue. Where is that? Hang on, I have it here somewhere. There's the barbecue. Yeah, I know why that pig was sticking his tongue out. But that's the wonderful barbecue. That's pretty awesome looking, eh? Smoker and barbecue combined. We like it, and thank you very kindly, Irish monk, for that. That is awesome. Anyway, let's get back to our SO2 map first. And I finally figured out where this stuff is coming from up top here. And that is actually from from China. And it was coming up this way before, but it is actually pouring out all the way across and creating this stuff way up in the northern portions of Canada. So, wow, those Chinese guys are dirty. Anyway, we can see some of those storms in here, and the Bering Sea and that kind of thing, where it's clear. And of course, you can see off the Kamchatka Peninsula, the big plume, as well as what's coming off of China and then going all the way over. And that is kind of, I don't know if I want to call it interesting. It's kind of not so good. I wish they wouldn't do that. But it is what it is. Looking at Alberta, we see our bad stuff too, so I really can't say too much there. It's unfortunate that we have no control over the amount of SO2 coming out. Most of the U.S., a lot of what we refer to as just regular pollution from people pollution, and then of course we have the same thing here in Mexico, but we also have Popocatépetl adding to that. So Mexico City as well as Popocatépetl. I do see a couple of storms brewing out here, a couple of lows. Not sure what's going to happen. Anyway, we see that pluming out into the Pacific. The air being a little bit different with the currents here may be causing some of that to sit tight for now. We do see Colombia is kind of the same thing, not coming out really far. Nothing from the Galapagos Islands. Sliding down here a little bit further, we see the reversal of the flow going across South America and going back into the Atlantic. So some of that from the coastline from Chile is definitely making it over and getting into most of the areas of Argentina, but not as severe as it could be. Uruguay looks pretty clear, and then of course pollution spots from cities and stuff in Brazil. That's the country. I knew I'd get it. And there we go, looking at New Zealand, White Isle volcano right there. Taupo, and not doing anything there. No off-gassing, no eruptive stuff for right now. Looking at Tofua up here, definitely still continuing to off-gas, and that one is going to be like that forever. The other one, Home Reef volcano, is out to the north of that. We don't see anything coming from it. Vanuatu area, and of course this is our a wonderful, actually we haven't played this for a while. Let me make that bigger, and we'll take a look at what Vanuatu is doing, and you can kind of see it is active. and throwing out a lot of that dirty ash amongst other stuff out of that system. So pretty interesting to be able to see that. Anyway, we'll get rid of that, and that's all part and parcel to that area. Over here in Papua New Guinea, still pretty normal. Luolatok putting this stuff out, and then we get over here would be from Sakurajima. No, not Sakurajima. How about Samaru? That would make more sense. Sakurajima's way up north. Oh boy, get my names mixed up there. Starting to get my words mixed. Or is that words mixed? All good, you guys. Anyway, we see Merapi area still fairly heavy, and not so much coming out of Krakatoa or Krakatau and Jakarta. They're easier today. Ibu and Dakono are still working away. Mayon is still making its own plume, and I'm not sure if some of this is coming from Taal Lake as well as from Manila, but it certainly, to me, it does look like it might be off-gassing from Taal as well as the people pollution for the most part in that area. And that is the other one out here that we were talking about. What is it? Shinamo Jima. Never mind. Anyway, the one in Japan, Japanese islands, we were seeing that. Still, people pollution in Taiwan, and of course down here. This would be from Suwanoshijima, and this mostly from Sakurajima in this area. So pretty heavy duty plumes coming out of there. And of course going up and looking at the Kamchatka Peninsula. It'll be who's down here? Alade and Ibiko, and then up at the top we have Chikarachki, Bezimiani, and Shivelish. There we go. Something like that. I got it. Never mind. China. Bad China. India. Quite a bit of people pollution there. Still, I see a lot of stuff coming off of South Africa. That's never going to quit as long as they have gold there. And looking at Reunion Island, we do see a little bit of a plume, but I don't think that's really going to add up too much there. And sliding up, DR Congo, still working on it. They do have some stuff coming out, as well as coking plants in the area, so that's combining to make that really red. And Shivelish, which, no, not Shivelish, Urta Ale. Boy, I'm getting my volcanoes mixed up. Urta Ale in this area, and we can't really see how much of it is actually being SO2 because of the stuff from Saudi Arabia floating into there, and perhaps even some from Iraq. Sliding over a bit more, a lot less coming off of Mount Etna today. And same thing goes for Stromboli, a lot less happening in that area. So that's kind of what we've got there. And looking at most of Europe, not bad till you get out into the eastern parts of Poland for the most part, and nothing really in Iceland to talk about. So I'll leave that there. And as we're going along here, I'm feeling my throat is quite hot right now, so I'm going to take another minute or two here. I'm going to take just a short break, you guys, just to let my throat cool down, and I will get back at it here in a minute or so. So don't go away, and we'll look at our weather map here right away. So be good. Take care, everyone. Nice to see you all. Okay, Frank. Yeah, I've got some cold Pepsi right here, and we'll see what we can do. Pepsi time. Yep. Give it a few minutes. I'll try not to be too long here. Gonna throw the music back on, and also we'll throw it back on the lava for right now, and then we'll get back to our weather when I come back. Don't go away, guys. Thanks. Okay, I've got the microphone back on. Gonna stop that music from playing, and we'll get back at things here. I did have a nice little sip of Pepsi. I am going to actually take another sip while I still have it in my hand. And thank you for the welcome backs. Also, a big thank you to Irish Monk for that 12.47 euros there. Cover the cost of Pepsi and mead for the voice. That is awesome. And thank you very kindly for that wonderful super chat again, Irish Monk. That is very kind of you. Oops, I hear you. Okay, Sharon Stewart, thank you. And thanks, Kevin and Sue and Sasha and Mona. Afternoon, all. I have to go. Thanks. Okay, Mona, you take care and all the best to you. And that is also good. Excellent. Okay, so let's get back over to our. I gotta stop my lava here. Stop. No, hang on. That's the wrong one. Darn it. Why'd that not stop? That's supposed to stop when I hit stop. How about pause? There we go. Caught it in midair. Quick, somebody go grab some of that. Get a bucket full. Yeah. Anyway, let's get back over to our weather map. I did refresh the weather map, so we should be able to go through this fairly quickly here and see what's happening as soon as my computer decides to get us over there. There we go. And seeing North America, we'll zoom out just a tad bit there. And of course, Alaska, having this circulation there, some really cold temps in the very northern parts of Alaska, and that is also bleeding into the Yukon. We see Northwest Territories still getting some warmth in there, which is really, really awesome for them for this time of year. This is really unheard of. For them to have 20 plus degree temperatures in that area up there. Usually by now it's half a meter of snow and that type of thing. Anyway, northern British Columbia on the eastern side, very warm. Same thing with northern Alberta, actually warmer further up north than it is here in Edmonton, but hey, it's not that bad of a day here either. And we see even in Saskatchewan, they had a fairly decent temperature. It's not till you get over to Manitoba that you start seeing things cool off. This high sitting here, pulling down some of that cold air into northern Ontario and Quebec, doing its thing. We see the bottom end of Ontario here has warmed up a little bit. And so Toronto coming in at about 15, 16, Montreal coming in at about 12, 13, and going a little bit further to the east, we see that things are a little cold up on the top here. So top end of New Brunswick showing single digits. We get down a little bit further south into Nova Scotia, and that they're not too bad. Low teens, which is not bad for this time of year. Same thing goes for Newfoundland here, and then we get up into Newfoundland Labrador area. They've got that cold stuff. I don't even want to look at it. It's coming here. Anyway, looking at the U.S., we see right around here in Montana and northern Wyoming, Yellowstone area. And I swear last night I seen snowflakes in Yellowstone, so I had to close my eyes and turn it off. Anyway, western portions looking really, really nice and not bad at all in most of those areas in the west. Looking at, Sue brought up Death Valley, or is bringing it up. That'll be down in here somewhere, 40 degrees, maybe, I don't know, somewhere thereabouts. 38, yep, that'll work. 101 degrees Fahrenheit. That is plenty warm for those good people. And let's see, Bakersfield coming in at 33 according to this. Mexicali is kind of the hot spot down there, 36. So very, very warm in some of those places. So a bottom end of Nevada is quite hot. Las Vegas showing somewhere around 34 degrees. Going over to Phoenix, Arizona, 35, 36 degrees in that area. And the bottom area of Arizona, very, very hot. Looking at New Mexico, a little cooler in some areas, but that's the higher elevations. We're still seeing some very nice temperatures there, and all of Texas really showing some pretty warm temperatures all the way through, right around that 30-degree mark. Looking at Oklahoma, same kind of thing, and as we work our way north, we see that it ends up in North Dakota, or sorry, South Dakota. North Dakota isn't too bad, sliding over a little bit, and darn it, I'll think of that state, Minneapolis, Minnesota. That's where it is. They got a hockey team there, you know. Anyway, Des Moines, Iowa. I know where that is. Anyway, going down, we see some of that other stuff. Not bad out in the western portion. Pretty reasonable temperatures for October 1st. Looking at what we've got down here in our areas that have been ravaged by Ian. We are seeing Atlanta is, Georgia isn't too bad. Atlanta coming in at about 21, 22 degrees. They are starting to regain some temperature here in Florida, but 25, 26 for the most part, looking at what we've got there. And South Carolina, fairly cool. North Carolina, kind of the closer you are to the coast, the better off it is. But that storm went up this way, and I don't know, I guess in the Ozarks here, pretty cold. Virginia and the coastal areas are still holding some nice temperature. New York coming in at 15, Philadelphia 15, Baltimore 14, and seeing Richmond 17, Virginia Beach 20, so not bad. And Grandma Bee's place about 15, 16, 16, 17 degrees Celsius, so not too bad for the most part. Sliding down a little bit more, we see the Baja area fairly warm, and there's Orlean, that storm that is off the coast, very close to Guadalajara, definitely creating some variable weather for those good people around there. And I think that would be very close to Puerto Vallarta and those areas, getting nailed with some probably some rain there. Here's the other two circulations down here that I was referring to, and this low may turn into another storm. This is the other low here. It's actually sitting on top of Mexico now. Interesting to see that. Hey Oz, good to have you on here. And Cancun, Mexico, 27, 28, not bad. Looking at Caribbean islands, pretty warm, still stable stuff. Looking at the Amazon, very, very warm, and that's about the right time of the year for them. Hopefully that will carry down a little bit more along the coast here, and get a little warmer for places like Rio de Janeiro and those areas. Buenos Aires coming in about 17, 18 degrees Celsius, and we can kind of see that cutoff line down here in Argentina. And then it gets back to the colder temps. I won't worry about those so much. Sneaking over to New Zealand real quick. We see single digits for the most part, and most of the higher elevations, and just around the coast edges is where we see warmer temps for the South Island. North Island definitely showing better temperatures all the way through. High teens, and doing their thing until you get down to the bottom end here. Gets a little chilly, but that's what we've got. And seeing what's on Tasmania, we've got a kind of a mixed bag of temps, and Hobart coming in about 10, 11 degrees. Not bad. And Leo brought up Taupo, and that is of course in here, and Taupo is 16 C, even though it says about 15 there. So they may be lagging a little bit with this map, but I do have it set out pretty much for the right time. Leo's place, the barbecue, will be not too bad. We can always stay close to the barbecue. You'll stay warm in Melbourne, and of course it says 12 there, 12 on the map. We can see that they do have that high sitting there, and that's helping out. Adelaide looks a little bit warmer at 17, 18, so that's not bad. Sydney at 14 on the other side. Sliding over here to Perth, coming in at about 13. They've got a fairly cold breeze coming across there. And sliding up a little bit more, home of Oz. And Oz having about 17, 18 degrees out there in Brisbane. So that's not bad at all. And taking a look at Northern Australia, it has cooled off again, unfortunately. So I don't know if that's really good or bad, but they are a little bit cooler than normal. Our Indonesian, Malaysian, and Papua New Guinea areas, Philippines, all looking pretty normal. Going to take a look at Bangkok weather, about 24, 25 degrees, and I'm wondering if that low has something to do with that. Oh, I was saying 26, thanks, Sue. And 96% relative humidity. It must be raining there. Going up, and we see Manila coming in at 27, doing its thing, sliding up a little bit more. We see here in the Yellow Sea, or just well, the low is right in the Yellow Sea, and that's what it's doing. I see this Roki is still hanging out here. And I'm glad it did not make landfall. I'm glad it's kind of just sitting out there doing its thing. But it does look like it's getting bigger, maybe. Anyway, most of Japan is around the 20 Celsius mark. Some areas a little bit cooler in the higher elevations, sliding up to Kamchatka Peninsula. I don't know if we even want to look at that. Higher elevations, definitely in the freezing points. Coastal areas are the upper single digits, but it is looking like we're going to see some winter come in. That low still sitting here in the Bering Sea, and pulling down more of that cold air. And look at how cold it is here already, minus 15, 16, 17 degrees. Must be something to do with Siberia. Anyway, down here, India, pretty normal, nothing outrageous. Looking at Madagascar, same kind of thing, doing not bad. Over here in Reunion Island, about 20, 22 degrees. Very bottom end of South Africa, still quite cool, but looking at most of Africa, it's fairly warm. Saudi Arabia and UAE, very, very hot. Oman is still holding a lot of heat as well as over here in Yemen. Higher elevations, of course, being a little bit cooler. It looks like Iraq warmed back up a little bit, and we are still seeing some colder areas up in the northern portions of Iran. They do have some warmth, but it's so-so, if you want to call it that. Sahara Desert, pretty much normal looking for what we normally see. It looks like a lot colder in Spain, though. Portugal, bottom end, looks a little warmer, but it too is suffering from a cold. And here, the new Monkland, which is Sardinia, coming in at variable temperatures. Higher elevations are anywhere from about 13, 14 degrees up to about, I guess, 16 degrees. But you get to the coastal areas, you're looking at 20, 22, depending on where you are. Same thing goes for Sicily, kind of the same ball game. Higher elevations, the colder it gets, and bottom end of Italy, kind of the same boat. And actually all of Italy till you get up in the north, it starts to really cool down, especially up in the Italian Alps up in the top there. And of course Zurich here coming in at 14 degrees, so we know the Alps are really, really cold. Anyway, I don't want to pop over Greece here too far. We want to get back here. Quite warm looking, so this is one of the things about that area. Thanks, Leo, for bringing that up. But Piggy's area of 24, 25 degrees, we'll see what the weather guessers actually have on their map, and go from there. 26 degrees Celsius, and it is like 2 o'clock in the morning there, 3 o'clock in the morning, so that is still quite warm, and hopefully it'll be okay. And looking at the way the wind is coming up, I don't think there's going to be any rain there for any while soon. We'll see. Anyway, France got some better temperatures out in the coast. Then once you get closer to, well, the interior portions here, it cools off a little bit. Looking at Luxembourg, about 12, 13 degrees. Same thing with most of Belgium and Holland until you get right out on the coast. Seems to be a couple degrees warmer there. Looking at Germany, 10, 11 degrees. Some in the bottom area here, a little bit warmer, but 11 in Berlin and Hamburg, 11, Munich, 11, 12. Looking at Denmark, not bad. Same kind of temperatures. Looking at Norway and Sweden, bottom end here, so-so as far as temperatures, 9. And Oslo, Stockholm coming in at about 10. Sliding over here, looking at St. Petersburg, or Leningrad, if you want to call it that, 4 degrees Celsius. Riga is coming in at about 7 or 8. And of course, Moscow, New Monkland, my deposit to buy New Monkland. Oh, that is awesome. Irish Monk, you're a wonderful guy. Thank you very much. New Monkland, that's a good name for it, you know. And I won't charge you any extra for it, for the name. I'll let you use that. You're more than welcome to. Anyway, 13 degrees in there. So, yeah, and if you're all wondering, that is New Monkland right there. And it used to be called Sardinia, but we're calling it New Monkland, and that is awesome. So, we'll have to change the map a little bit, but we'll make it happen. Anyway, looking at England, and bottom end, not bad, holding low to mid-teens, and low teens in most of Wales. Going up a little bit, we see higher single digits up in Scotland area. Then we get over to Irish Monkland, and Irish Monkland doing about 12, 13 degrees probably. They are getting some of that warmer air blowing in there, so that's not bad. From I guess once that low moves out of the way, that'll allow more of that stream come up there from, what do we call it? The Gulf Stream. There we go. And that's kind of what we're seeing there. And looking at Iceland, we have a big low sitting up here on this peninsula, and that is causing some cold air to come into the Reykjanes Peninsula, and we see about 7 or 8 degrees Celsius for those areas. Reykjavik probably coming in at about 9. Yeah, it's sheltered a little bit there, so that's all right. And our Ragnar area about 7 degrees right now. Who is the president or a PM of New Monkland? You mean the Queen? That is Queen Monkus. Queen Monkus. is the Queen of New Monkland. It's run by the Queen, and that's how it works. Anyway, let's take a look at precipitation for our wonderful world. And real quick shot here. Looking up in the northern areas, Alaska, and of course we have up in the Yukon and Northwest Territories, definitely some snow happening there and some rain in some areas. Sliding over a little bit more. Who runs the world, girls? Juliet, thanks. Northern Quebec, you see some flaking going on there. A little bit of rain out here in Newfoundland. Looks fairly dry though, and most of the other places in Canada, with the exception of the coast and of course Queen Charlotte Islands, they always get rain there. It is officially a rainforest. It's the only rainforest that we really have here in Canada, and that is the Queen Charlotte Islands, and definitely a rainforest. And looking at western United States, pretty dry. We see some isolated spots in Arizona, as well as New Mexico. Moving up a little bit, Colorado's got some stuff in it, as well as Wyoming and Montana, and very little coming into North Dakota, and that's not bad. And here are the remnants of Ian, and that is what we've got there. Yeah, I just buy islands. Okay. And of course, this mess here, this is kind of part of Ian that never made it into back into the shore. So that is what we've got going on there. Sliding down, Orleans is here, and as I was mentioning, it was creating a bunch of stuff going on along the coast of Mexico, causing problems. The next storm developing here, but Central America getting all kinds of different storms happening as well in those areas. And yes, those are rainforests as well. And looking here, northern portions of South America getting a rain as well. Again, a rainforest material, you guys. That's what we're seeing. Sliding down a bunch more though. We don't see too much in Chile or Argentina, Buenos Aires, and Paraguay. They are all seen to be Uruguay, no rain. A little bit here in the bottom end of Brazil, but nothing major, and some right here, and just right around Rio de Janeiro or northward, and that's what we've got. And looking at circulations there, pretty awesome. Not sure what else we've got here. Let's take a look. Ooh, that low is pulling in all that stormy stuff, and even though they've got warmer temperatures on the North Island of New Zealand, they are seeing some rain. This high is probably keeping the South Island a lot cooler, and that is a little bit of rain there, so nothing too serious. So looks dry in Tasmania. Looks dry at Leo's house for that barbecue, so that should be good. We do see some rain here in central areas of Australia. That's actually kind of nice in a way. They don't get rain there too often. And looking at Perth, nothing there. Brisbane, no. Poor Oz is getting some more rain, and I hope it's not coming down in buckets or anything. It doesn't look like it's heavy rain, but well, I'm sure it's still 10 pounds per gallon no matter what we say, right? I wear the pants in my household. I have my partner's permission to to say so. Okay, Well, Leo, as long as you got that straight, that's all good, and as long as you got your permission. Anyway, looking at the areas here out of Indonesia, Papua New Guinea, all those areas, we see those isolated storms or bigger storms all the way through. Looking at perhaps Bangkok, they're getting a little bit of rain as well. That's why it's a little cooler there. Same thing with what we're seeing in the Philippines. They've got some good rain. Here's that storm in the Yellow Sea doing its thing, and of course Roki out here doing its thing. Hopefully that's not going to grow any. Hopefully it'll die out and go away. Kamchatka Peninsula burr, and yeah, we see those flakes. Looks like another low developing right in here, so that may join this guy or replace this guy if that's what happens. Looking at India and that area, pretty normal for them to get more storms in there. Not seeing too much rain in Madagascar, which is really good, and then south portions of Africa looking pretty dry right now. Central portions, another rainforest area, and these areas, of course, doing their thing. Then the Sahara looks pretty dry. A little bit here in Morocco, but not too much. So I don't know, kind of weird that we have some rain there. Anyway, looking for Piggy to see what we've got for rain coming up. And unfortunately, still I'm not seeing any rain. That is a very, very dry area in here. And that goes for the southern portion of Turkey and all of these areas, including, of course, Crete and Cyprus and that whole area because of the dry air from the Sahara. We do see systems up further north here, and hopefully that'll get some of them wet. Not seeing a heck of a lot in Sicily or Italy, a few little spots. Nothing in Spain or Portugal. We do see a system here that is kind of passed through or at the end of the French portion of the Alps, and that is going through the Alps all the way, and that is kind of doing its thing. So bottom end of Germany, Stuttgart and München, all getting rain, and not too bad, and the other portions of Germany holding fairly dry for the most part. Same thing with Holland and Belgium. No rain in Luxembourg right now. A little bit up here in Germany, and then along the coast of Denmark. And let's take a look at what we've got. This nasty system sitting in here, creating a wet bottom end of Norway and Sweden, and sliding up, seeing the rest of this. We see some rain and some snow up in the top of Finland. A little bit of rain there. We do see this system just north of Moscow, and they're probably going to get wet for sure. And looking at England, having a quick peek there. Bottom end here looks like they're getting nailed. Cork is wet. Cork will float if it's wet, but down on the bottom of Ireland, definitely getting some rain there. And then some stuff along the coast of Scotland and even central England here, not bad. Wales looking pretty dry. And looking at Iceland, oh, look at that. Not a time to be there. So I hope everyone stays away and waits till the rain is over and done and gone. 'Tis the season, you guys. That's what this time of year will bring. And we see Greenland, of course, turning white again. And that brings us back over here to the Davis Strait and up here into Baffin Bay area, snow and all kinds of stuff freezing rain up in the northern portions of the Hudson's Bay area. So we'll leave that be. Let's pop back over to our temperature, and we will look for our coldest temperature. And I found minus 72 already. Holy mackerel, that didn't take long. And we'll find something colder, I'm sure. Minus 76, 77, holy mackerel, 78. Right, let's see what else we can find here. And starting to be really chilly down there, and it's actually supposed to be turning into summer. How the heck's that working? Okay, so 78 there. Let's check over here. Minus 70, 1, 2, 3, and going down a little bit more. Minus 71 there. I don't know. There's got to be some colder stuff here. Whoa, whoa, what was that? I seen that dip really, really low in this area here somewhere. Looked like a minus 80 something. Oh yeah, minus 81. Brr. Okay, I found minus 81 Celsius. Holy, coldest temp I found. Oh my God. Sue found minus 83 C. I found minus 81. Sue wins, but holy mackerel, that is absolutely cold. And yeah, rug up the penguins, and that with extra stuff. Irish 73 euro a ticket, return from Ireland to Iceland. The cost of sea. Yeah. Boy, that's actually 73 euros. That's pretty cheap. Kevin found a minus 78. Yeah, we've got minus 81. So Sue Hayes of the thermal flask has a SOS beacon. Oh boy, you need that. Anyway. Yeah, very, very cold there. So I did find that minus 81, but I'm glad that Sue found that minus 83, and that is horribly, horribly cold. And hopefully those penguins will be okay down there. I don't know if it's a penguin breeding season or not, but anyway, that'd be too cold for me. And that is it. So, yep, Sharon Stewart says, wow, Sue found minus 83, Doc found a minus 81, declaring both winners, rare temps below minus 80 degrees Celsius. Yeah, it's just absolutely crazy to see those temperatures. And we'll leave it be at that point. So thank you everyone for being here, and I hope you've enjoyed the wonderful show. We'll get it back to our wonderful lava so we can warm back up a little bit. And on that friendly note, it is time for me to wrap things up. And I am going to say a big, big thank you to Irish Monk for all 4 super chats. And you've done an awesome out there, Irish Monk. I really do appreciate you. That is very kind, and you are a very generous man. So thank you. You're well. I'm glad you appreciate it, and I appreciate what you've done. So awesome, awesome. All right, everyone. Be good and take care of yourselves, and be kind to each other, and be kind to others, and on those friendly notes, stay warm, stay safe, stay out of trouble, and please, most of all, make sure you tell your loved ones that you love them tonight, for tomorrow is never promised. I'm your host, DrFox2000, here in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. Going to say a good night to everyone of the Lava family. Also, a big thank you to our wonderful moderators. And Piggy, if you're still listening, please take it easy. And, we're all thinking about you and sending good vibes, okay? And all the best. Anyway, be good, everyone. And we'll see you all tomorrow. Tomorrow's Sunday, so you got to remember early stream again tomorrow. And on that friendly note, be good, and we'll see you. And take care, everyone. And good night, or good day, and oink oink.